Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. My name is Jean Umberto. This will be one of a number of videos that I'm going to produce looking at how we can solve different problems using JavaScript. Now in this specific challenge, we are going to look at how we can use timers to create a timekeeper. So here's the problem. You are given the task to create a widget which will keep track of the time a respondent or user spent answering a number of questions. So think of this as a quiz timer, a watch-like widget. If you think about a test at school which is timed, and traditionally you will have an invigilator or somebody who is standing there looking at the time, making sure that if the exam is set for an hour, student will not go beyond 1 hour taking the exam or the test, and when that 1 hour has elapsed, then the invigilator or the person in charge will basically collect all the question papers. In the computer world, we may replicate that traditional behavior by simply setting a test on the computer and of course setting a timer which is going to keep track of the minutes, second or hours that a student has spent taking the test. And this is just one use case, but you may think about many others. So this is how we are going to implement the solution. We will use HTML and CSS to create the graphical user interface, and we're going to make use of variables in JavaScript. We are going to brush on our knowledge on setting and getting content from HTML. We'll be using functions, and we'll be using Windows timers, and more especially the set interval method or function. In a real world scenario, you will need to collect this information, and here I'm referring to the amount of time the respondent spent writing the quiz. You will need to collect this information and send it straight to the server, of course for processing, either putting it in a file, a report, or in a database. And you could use languages such as PHP, JSP, or ASP. If you haven't watched my videos on the above topics, and that of course is the setting and getting content from HTML using function, timers, etc., you may need to do so before attempting this solution. Here is room for improvement. If you are a student, you can add more complexity to this challenge by incorporating logic that will track the time a respondent spent on each question, instead of the solution which we are going to implement here, where we are going to simply think about collecting the amount of time somebody spent or the student spent on all the questions. You may think about using JavaScript event to track the time the user spent on a single question. So let us go ahead and start writing the code in NetBeans.